Welcome to The Sound, KQAL FM's weekly behind-the-scenes look at Midwestern-made music. From writing and recording to distribution and promotion, The Sound is your source for new releases and exclusive interviews from Midwestern artists. Support for The Sound is made possible by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Rolling. Tonight on The Sound, we get into the latest EP from Minneapolis artist Clare Doyle, titled Stranger. Clare Doyle is an Americana country artist who burst onto the scene in 2023 with a string of singles that made quite an impression with audiences across the state and beyond. And judging from this latest EP, Stranger, it doesn't look like that momentum will slow down anytime soon. Clare has a gorgeous country crooner-style voice, and her songs will take you on a journey through love, love lost, and even love gone wrong, as the stories have us running from the wrongs of the past and into the possibilities of the future. I'm Bill Stoneberg, saying get comfortable, kick back, and get ready to take a ride as we get Stranger with Clare Doyle tonight on The Sound.
I lost it all this year. Halfway to Denver and the sun is coming up. I'm racing fast across the plain. Something tells me I'm not running fast enough to a town where they don't know my name. Ooh. I let the jukebox get the best of me last night. I let the wild side take the wheel. Thought I could stay a while and settle down this time, but she and I weren't made for sitting still. Maybelline, angel of the road, ain't it funny how the chaos takes control? You come to me, singing soft and low, oh, your name's the only prayer that I know, and I'm never on my own. Reputations have a way of catching up, and I hear bad news travels fast. So I leave the rumors coughing in a cloud of dust, and I keep one foot on the gas. Maybelline, angel of the road, ain't it funny how the chaos takes control? You come to me, singing soft and low, oh, your name's the only prayer I know, and I'm never on my Lake Charles to San Antonio, Junction on to El Paso. This one-trick pony only knows how to ride away. Maybelline, angel of the road, ain't it funny how the chaos takes control? You come to me, singing soft and low, oh, your name's the only prayer that I know, and I'm never on my own.
That was Maybelline, and that's the first track from the latest release from Clare Doyle. It's a 4-song EP called Stranger that came out in November of 2024. Clare Doyle's based out of the Minneapolis area, and we have Clare on the phone with us tonight. How you doing, Clare?
Doing well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Good, good. So you released 4 singles at first, starting in 2023, and now this EP came out just this past fall. Kind of bring us up to speed. What's life been like since you kind of hit the scene in Minneapolis? Because I have to say, there's a lot of talk too. You're very popular down here, and we're all very curious to see how this got started and how it got going. Kind of bring us up to speed. What's life been like the past 2 years, being part of the Minneapolis scene and releasing this music?
Yeah, well, it's been busy.
Right.
Yeah, I went from I wasn't playing music previous to 2022. So
Okay.
when I started writing and started playing out, it all happened pretty quickly. I just kind of jumped right in. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy, very fun couple years.
Right. So when you say you weren't playing music previous to this, do you mean total, or just like we weren't playing this stuff, or like how did you get your start? Did you just start playing music in 2022, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been singing my whole life.
Okay.
And
sure.
I learned guitar, taught myself guitar in college, which was about 14 years ago now.
Okay.
And up until 2020, up until the pandemic, I played guitar and I sang, but I just played, covers in my living room or whatever. I played one open mic night down when I was living in New Orleans, and maybe a couple open mics in high school with my dad. But that was the extent of my performing.
Really? So when did you? Wait a minute. So really, this is like your first stuff. Like, when did you start writing then?
I started writing. So I wrote 3 songs when I was in college, and this would have been 2009.
Okay.
And then never did anything with them. And I started writing in 2020. Started writing again.
Oh my gosh. That's not that long ago.
Right.
And these are fantastic tunes, so you said you did some open mic nights in high school. When you arrived in Minneapolis, it sounds like you had a couple tunes under your belt. How did you kind of get into the scene and, put this great music together and a band and everything? How did that come about for you?
Yeah, well, kind of just piece by piece. I mean, I started playing. I played my first show because a friend of mine kind of made me do it. I wasn't going to. I at that point I was still too nervous. And from there, really just got lucky. I mean, if folks, invited me to join Bill's, and started playing out more and meeting people that way.
Right.
I had been living out of town for so long that I really didn't know anybody in town.
Uh-huh.
And so that was how I kind of got to know everybody that I know in town now, was just through playing and through the great music community.
Wow. You must have made quite an impression right away then. That is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I owe a debt of gratitude. The music community there in Minneapolis was so welcoming and so supportive.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great scene. Great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away by this, because I hear these songs and I'm like, man, this is someone who is like a seasoned songwriter, and like, I'm thinking there's, hundreds of songs that have come before this, this is,
you.
Yeah, this is like totally amazing to me. I absolutely love it. Wow. I'm kind of shocked, Claire, for real. Super cool. Well, before I gush too much, maybe we should switch gears here. Well, let's play another song for folks, and then we'll come back and talk some more about it. Okay.
Sounds good.
So we're gonna play through the 4-song EP. It's called Stranger. Came out just this past fall in November of 2024. This next tune is the second track. It's called Guadalupe. Oh, I'm sorry. It's called Guadalupe Blue, and it's from Clare Doyle's EP Stranger. And we're talking to Clare Doyle tonight, and we'll be back with more conversation with Clare right after this. Here's Guadalupe Blue from Clare Doyle, and you're listening to it on The Sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
clear blue water, your blue eyes, Guadalupe River, caught you by surprise when I dared you, but I jumped first. The way you called me honey, that's how I got the nerve, and I hear you call me honey, and it still hurts. Ooh, I lost my fear, I lost it all this year. In a split second it disappears, and whatever I'm made of is all that's left here. Late November, I've been rolling on, landed back in Louisiana. Ooh, and you're long gone. All my big plans on the ground now, stripped off and left for dead, like a trail of t-shirts on the way to our hotel bed. Ooh, I lost my fear, I lost it all this year. In a split second it disappears, and whatever I'm made of is all that's left here. I lost my fear, I lost it all this year. In a split second it disappears, and whatever I'm made of is all that's left here.
And that was Guadalupe Blue, and that is from Clare Doyle's latest release, an EP called Stranger. And we have Clare Doyle on the phone with us tonight. Clare, okay, so we just learned that you just kind of started getting into the music scene up there in the early 2020s here, so like 2020, 2022. Wow. And then you released, your first single came out in 23, I think, Devices. Absolutely love that song. We're going to play that later in the show. So take me into like your writing process here, because I hear a lot of themes, like that first song, Maybelline. To me, it sounds like the open road, and then there's themes of like running, running from, running to, perhaps. This whole EP has all kinds of real relatable stuff, like themes of love lost, love gone wrong sometimes, Are your songs true stories? And if so, how true? Like, or are they just fictitious?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I wish I was a more imaginative writer, and
Okay.
I incorporated that into my writing exercises sometimes, just trying to get really, really imaginative and fictitious.
Okay.
But I say that because, no, typically my songs are very, very much based in reality. There are like fictitious flourishes or things that, often the song will start in a very, start in a scene or in a way that's very specific to my own experiences. But I'll let the song go where it needs to go, So if the story develops, it's not exactly true to mine, then I follow that if it serves the song,
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of a like a combination, like based on a true story or something, or inspired by stuff, right? Yeah. Experience and everything, right? What comes first when you're writing? Do you you said you kind of set a scene. Is it melody? Is it lyric idea? Is it a theme or chords? How do you write?
Yeah, often it's language, lyrics.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard to pinpoint because I'm often humming and I'm often getting lines running through my head, and sometimes they happen at the same time.
Right.
But yeah, generally speaking, like it's an idea or a lyric that kind of drives the concept, and then I'll occasionally I have a melody that's already stuck in my head with it, or it has a melody that's kind of married to it.
Okay.
But if I've got a set of lyrics that I'm working on, I'll then sit down and kind of noodle around until I find a melody or a chord progression that feels right, to start with at least.
Okay, cool. And that's guitar, I'm assuming?
Yeah, on guitar.
Yeah.
Although I've been about piano, writing on piano recently has been an intriguing concept to me.
Oh, cool. Do you play piano as well then?
Not well. I mean, I took lessons when I was younger.
Sure.
But, just it's such a different feel. I think you can get a very different sounding and feeling song writing on piano than guitar. But yeah, for now, my acoustic.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Changing instruments, it gives you a totally different approach. And that's why I love this question. It seems like a generic question, but man, everyone has a different way of going about it.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I think I remember seeing. I don't know if it was on this EP, but maybe earlier releases with Eric Martin helping out on lyrics, perhaps, or something. Like, do you have any writing partners, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I may be wrong about the Eric Martin thing. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, no. Well, Eric Martin mastered the EP.
Okay.
He's the mastering engineer. So you're not wrong about that. He was involved.
Cool.
As far as writing goes, I have not really, I've tried to co-write a few times, and it's mostly just been kind of a fun exercise. I've never really successfully co-written anything with anyone, with the exception of Maybelline. And it wasn't so much a co-write as it was Simon Kropp, who's a good friend of mine and a fantastic musician based in Decorah, Iowa, is essentially gifted me. I had brought up the song in a group of friends where Simon was present, and was talking about how I was having trouble finding a direction for the chorus, and he ultimately gifted me the line "Maybelline, Angel of the Road." That was his line, and I took it and kind of it really transformed everything that I had already written in the song, and allowed me to finish it and to find a chorus that made sense.
Cool. Okay. So kind of maybe not a traditional sit down and we're going to write a song together collaboration, but in a roundabout way, a group effort kind of maybe, right?
Yeah. And very much, I mean, it was one of those magical, it was very spur of the moment, very, we were staying with Simon on tour. Well, a couple of friends of mine and I were on tour and sitting around in his living room before we had to leave for our next tour stop, and just strumming the guitar, talking about writing. And that song came up, and he ended up having a line that he had been hanging on to for a long time.
Cool.
And wanted to put to good use. And I'll forever grateful to him for it.
That is awesome. And you know what's interesting? I was just, as soon as you said Simon Kropp, I was like, wait a minute. And I see here, he is playing this weekend here in town at No Name Bar. So that's kind of cool. What a cool connection. Well,
highly recommend. He's a fantastic musician.
Cool. Yeah. Gonna have to get out and see that then. Fun. Oh, super fun.
Yeah.
So I'm also a little bit curious before we play the next tune. You released, I think it was 4 singles before this EP, and now the 4-song EP. What are your thoughts on full-length albums versus singles? In the age of streaming, it's almost like it's more worthwhile just to get a single on a playlist than to have a full album out. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's tough. I also didn't make music previous to this era,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I don't know what it used to be like. I know there are folks who have had to adapt and evolve with that. And I've just sort of recently jumped in, but I mean, I'm an old school, I'm always going to love a full length,
right.
And would love to have that for myself. But yeah, I mean, that's something I'm trying to figure out right now, really, the balance between just what makes sense and serves the art, I guess. I don't think, as much as I do love full length and would love to do that at some point, I don't know about churning out singles just to like, as a gift to the offering to the algorithm or whatever. But I think that they have their own, they can have merit, that can have artistic merit too,
Oh, totally.
There's a bunch of ways to do it. I haven't, really wrapped my head around the best way for myself yet.
Well, and I like what you said initially about that is like that, you kind of let the art dictate what it wants, right? If you have a song idea and it comes to completion, release it, right? I mean, that's kind of what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, it can be freeing even. Like, I don't think it has to, there are plenty of bad things about, the way that music works these days, but I don't think that, the single trend has to be a bad thing.
Right.
It can be freeing to just come up with a song and track it and put it out just on its own and not feel obligated to frame it or do anything surrounding it.
Right. And that's not to say that a single can't become part of an album down the road too, right? I mean,
totally,
that can happen. And I personally love vinyl also. So I like the whole, what song goes on what side with what other songs around it and all that. I love that kind of stuff. But I also love the singles, especially like a good 7-inch vinyl single. I mean, that's cool too, so.
Yeah, totally.
They each have their own merit, I think. I just always think it's super interesting to see, the artist viewpoint of that, I've been in so many conversations with, people who collect vinyl or whatever talking about this issue, but it's like, well, what do the artists think? So that's kind of cool. So thanks for
totally.
that. Yeah. Let's move on to another song and then we'll come back and talk some more. I'm talking here tonight with Clare Doyle. She just released an album, an EP called Stranger. It's a 4-song EP. It came out in November of 2024. We have Clare on the phone tonight and we're playing through that album for you. So, this next track is the 3rd track on it. It's called On My Own and you're listening to it on the sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
You don't wait up all night.
That was On My Own, and that's a song off the EP Stranger by Clare Doyle. That's her latest release. It came out last fall, November of 2024. And we have Clare on the phone tonight. Clare, so we talked a little bit about your recording process, your writing process, rather. How about your recording process? And I know, you just kind of started doing this in the last couple of years, which, again, just blows my mind, Clare. That is so cool. Because you're in my top 5 right now. There's a lot of.
Wow, thank you.
And I think you guys have. I don't know if you remember. I came up and introduced myself at the Palmer's City Country Fest.
Yeah,
I was up there to see that, and I don't know if I had warned you that I was going to call you about this album or not, but I just love the whole scene that's going on up there,
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And I've heard the words, Minneapolis honky tonk, or maybe it was Twin Cities honky tonk. I've heard things like that thrown around, and I just think it's great. I just think there's just a fabulous scene you guys have going on. So, I'm glad you're a part of it. So, when you went in to do this album, the EP here, how did you do the recording? Do you have a friend where you go into, like a home studio, or do you pay to go into a studio? You mentioned Eric Martin mastering, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how did the process go down for you, and how did that start out?
Yeah, well, the process for this, I went and did a full-on studio production for the first 3 singles that I put out in 2023. To be honest with you, when we started, I recorded this with Ty Brewster in his home studio. He plays guitar with me and is a great friend.
Oh, cool.
And initially, we went in to record pretty bare bones. Honestly, just to clear the decks. We were just going to get some stuff out, and went in to do a quick and dirty recording session, or a couple of sessions. And in the spring of last year.
Right.
And we ended up obviously producing it more. So it was kind of just a gradual process over the late spring and summer. And actually extended all the way into we were butting right up against our release deadline.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it kind of, we didn't really go in with much of a plan or a roadmap. We dropped some songs, we added some songs. But it was really nice to work in that. It was tough in a way. Because we were kind of very much flying by the seat of our pants, but it was also a really good experiment. We played with a lot of different ideas, and we worked through a lot of different iterations of things. And so, yeah, it was a good, I'm still very green too, in the recording space. So it was good for me to get that experience, for sure.
Do you find that it was a little more laid back working with Kai in his studio, as opposed to scheduling time and buying time at a different studio? Or
oh, totally, yeah, absolutely, yeah, and just more comfortable. I'm familiar with his. We're good friends. I'm familiar with his space, and yeah, he's very flexible and accommodating, and so yeah, it was certainly. It lent itself well to the sort of roundabout process that we were in.
So I heard you say in there that you, dropped some songs, added some songs, mixed it up. Does that mean there are other releases that we can hear soon, or will there be something else soon?
No, we ended up. No, I think we demoed out, or did kind of scratch versions of,
yeah.
I think there were only 2 other songs that we had initially. I ended up writing, I think we're probably going to hear it in a bit, but I ended up writing Another Place to Cry while we were still in the record, late in the summer. And it suited the group of songs so well that we decided to track it and add it to the EP. So, but the other 2 that we dropped weren't take any further than those kind of initial scratch recordings.
Okay.
And I think I'm happy with that. We were very intentional about which songs, these 4 songs on the EP just felt right together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm happy we ended up with that group. And then I think, the rest of the material that I have, I don't have plans to record soon. Honestly, feels like I just got done recording, but
right.
but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get new stuff out. I do, though. I think after what was a very cool learning experience in making this EP, I just know I want to be a little bit more intentional about the next project and have a little bit more structure and framework. So I'm, still just even thinking about what that's going to be like.
Right. Well, cool. It's awesome to be, because we're kind of all taking this journey with you, hearing these songs.
Yeah.
So that is awesome to hear. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, are the players on the album, is this the same? Because I love your band. Oh my gosh. Seeing you live was fantastic. Are these the same players that you play with live on the record?
Yes. Let's see here. Yeah. So Kai Brewster co-produced it and was the recording engineer and plays guitar.
Okay.
And Taylor James Donsky is on bass. Alex Young is on drums. And then, so that's my core.
That's your core band, right?
Band. Yeah. And I love those guys too.
Oh my God, they're great.
Yeah, there's something else. All the other instrumentation, we've got steel, banjo, mandolin, organ, probably missing one here, but those are typically not part of the live show yet. I love to build those things in when I can, but often it's not the most practical option for live show.
Yeah, totally. The more people you bring on the road, the more it costs, really, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I understand. How did you hook up with this band? With like the core band that you have, with Taylor and Alex, and how did you line those players up? Okay.
Yeah, well, I had been playing for probably about 6 months or so in 2022, and eventually just knew I wanted to put a band together. And I had played with a couple. I've played with a couple different, actually several different combinations of personnel, which has been a real benefit actually to just hear different people's styles and what they hear. But I ended up with this band. Taylor is the longest standing member of the band.
Okay, cool.
I think he started playing with me in maybe 2020, late 2022, early 2023. And then Kai, in 2023, I was a sub for the guitarist that I was previously playing with, and we just had a pretty extraordinary chemistry, and so cool. He's been a regular fixture. And then I didn't actually really played with quite a few different drummers, and Alex Young's came highly recommended several times, and so we called him up, and I think he joined us in early last year, 2024. Cool.
Wow. That's a heck of a lineup, though. Like I said, great band. You guys are fantastic live.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. Let's get into another song. Let's play more music for folks, because this stuff is fantastic. We're here talking to Clare Doyle tonight. She's got her latest EP is called Stranger. It's a 4-song EP. This is the 4th track off that. It's called Another Place to Cry, and you're listening to it right here on the Sound on 89.5 KQAL.
Sinking on the river, palms are swaying in the breeze. can hear the birds are singing, but I can't see through the tears. I up and ran away to Texas, made my way across the plains. I was looking for some sunshine and running from the pain. It's not the paradise I wanted, trouble caught up in no time. It's not the answer to my aching, it's just another place to cry. On a postcard sent from far away, dreams come true in Houston, hello from sunny Santa Fe. I believed in starting over, thought I could find it somewhere new, believed the pastures would be greener, the skies are blue, blue. It's not the paradise I wanted, trouble caught up in no time. It's not the answer to my aching, it's just another place to cry. So if you're thinking about Reno or Carolina for a while, take it from me, darling, it's just another place to cry. It's just another place to cry. It's just another place to cry.
That was Another Place to Cry, and that is a song off the latest EP from Clare Doyle called Stranger. And we have Clare Doyle on the phone with us tonight. Clare, thank you so much for being with us. I want to talk about, we've talked about your process, your writing, your recording process. What about the music you listen to? Like, what's inspired you lately, or what's been in your player lately? Any recommendations you have for us? What have you been listening to?
Oh, let's see. Yeah. I mean, I am guilty of getting stuck in an country and Americana rut.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
I have been spinning Margot Silker's album, Valley of the Heart's Delight, pretty much nonstop for a while now.
Cool.
And highly, highly recommend. I love her writing and the production of that record. So that's been in heavy rotation. I'm a really late adopter on I hop on bandwagons like way after I probably should. So I had heard about Chappell Roan when Chappell Roan was getting heard about, and then I waited another year to listen to her, and now I'm completely obsessed.
I know. I'm on that same late bandwagon with you. I am. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's incredible stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I don't know. I lived in New Orleans for a long time and fell in love with the Sunday morning gospel show on their station WWOZ.
Cool.
So that's also a mainstay, I guess.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to hearing that. Yeah, I'm wondering if that'll seep in.
Yeah.
Gospel's a great little influence. I love that. Very cool. Very cool. So Clare, we can hear your songs on all the major streaming platforms. The website, I don't remember what's your website address offhand?
ClareDoyle.com.
Okay, it's just your name, ClareDoyle.com. Where's the best place to find out about show dates and merch and things like that? Is that the website or where?
Yeah. The website has pretty much everything. I have a calendar up there. I've got, I have a sort of regular newsletter that's hosted on Substack that you can find on the web,
cool.
linked to on the website. Merch is up there. And then I am most active on Instagram, but I post stuff automatically from Instagram to Facebook too. So I'm Clare Doyle Music on both of those platforms.
Okay. So what is next for you? Do you have a tour coming up? Any big shows? What's coming up next?
Yeah. Well, the next few weeks are pretty quiet. I've got a show down in New Orleans, but then a few quiet weeks to hopefully do some writing. And then May is super busy. I've got a tour planned. My pal Luke Callan and I are headed from Minneapolis down to Nashville and all kinds of places in between. And then a couple, shows up in and around Minneapolis or that area. Blue Ox then.
Cool. That's right.
That I'm very excited for.
Very cool. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. I love it. And I love Luke too. Luke Callan's fantastic. And as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, that's right. I knew about that. Are you guys going to make it down this way at all? I don't remember. Down in Winona, southern Minnesota?
Man,
I don't know. We'll find out, right? We can look it up. So we'll make people look.
Totally. Yeah, we haven't announced yet. We're announcing very soon, but
okay.
The dates will be up on the various websites and platforms.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's get people going to your website and see. And then they can find a show near them and come and check you out. Because, like I said, your band is great. You're great. I mean, it's an all-around awesome show. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing all this. Clare, thank you so much for joining us. We've got one more tune. We're going to go out with Devices. The internet tells me this was your first single. Is that true?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, that we're going to bring it back to the beginning here with Devices. Like I said, thanks so much for talking with us today, Clare, and looking forward to seeing you live again. I'm going to try to catch you with Luke Callan on the road. That sounds like a great show.
Cool. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to chat.
For sure. Well, we've been talking to Clare Doyle tonight. Her latest EP is called Stranger. You can find it on all the major streaming platforms, or go out and buy it. I suggest you do. Go to Bandcamp or go to claredoyle.com, and you can find out information there about merch and where she's playing. So this last one is Devices, and you're listening to it on The Sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
Pull
Thanks again to Clare Doyle for joining us tonight on The Sound. To hear more from Clare, look her up at claredoyle.com, Bandcamp, or your favorite streaming platforms. For more deep dives into local and regional albums, tune into The Sound every Wednesday night at 6 right here on 89.5 KQAL. You can also listen to past episodes of The Sound with extended interviews and exclusive content on your favorite streaming services. Find links at kqal.org. I'm Bill Stoneberg, and we've just heard from Minneapolis country queen Clare Doyle on The Sound. Thanks for listening to The Sound. The Sound is produced by KQAL-FM on the campus of Winona State University. Visit us online at kqal.org. Theme music for The Sound provided by Mike Terrell of Fires of Denmark.